Okay, so this is the today's session. Today's session. Okay, so first thing we are going to see is about how to create a website and how to create a licensing for our website. Okay, the second thing we are going to see is about how to create a course. How to create a course. First one is website creation and licensing. Second one is how to create a course. Okay, creating a course is a new entity. We'll see how it goes on. Fine. So what I mean by creating of courses, virtually almost like an NPTEL. You can have a website where your students or anyone in the world can just log in. They can register. Once they register in your website, for those registered users alone, you can give some contents. It may be a course, it may be some instruction like that. Okay, that's the meaning of course creation. So first we'll actually log into the first part. As soon as we tell about website creation, actually we have two types of websites. Okay, that depends upon what whom you're addressing. If you're going to do a simple interaction kind of thing, you call it as a blog. Okay, you have something called as blog and you have something called as website. A blog is a dynamic one, something like it's your diary. You write every day on your diary, right? Some people have diary writing habits. So every day we will be writing something in our diary. That's something kind of a blog. You share your views to the world. It may be on a subject or it may be on anything general. Okay, we use a blog to write whatever you want. Okay, whatever you want to share, that's called as a blog. Almost you're writing a diary or you're writing a poetry and you're keeping. Okay, so what happens, suppose you're writing in papers. Just imagine you're writing a poem every day. You're a poet, you're writing a poem every day. So new poem will kept on the log first. Okay, you keep on stacking all the poems. So whichever you have written new will be on the top. In the same way, in a blog, whenever you update the contents, the latest content will be on the first. It will be displayed first. The oldest content will be last. That's how your blog will look like. And a website is basically a static content wherein you can post your own, depends upon the, say, if I am for my personal website, I can post lecture notes, my videos, my class things, all those things we can post. It's static, more or less static. Okay. So conventionally, your websites will be developed using HTML coding and other things. But nowadays, everything is so easy to do it. Everything is inbuilt. Just like you drag and drop menus, drag and drop items, just you can do it in just a fraction of a second. Okay, so that's how it's quite simple. Okay, we're going to see only how to do it at free of cost. Okay, we are not going to be how to take it commercially. Okay, how to do it free. That's the main idea of this discussion. Okay, so first thing we are going to see is a blogger.com. A blogger.com is a part of Google which allows you to create blogs. Okay, so we'll take you to the browser. Okay, we'll see how to create a blog. So I'm just coming out of this. The website link is blogger.com. As soon as I type in blogger.com, it will take me to the Google website. It's a blogger actually. This is my personal blog actually. It's connected with Google actually. So you need to sign in with Google. So as soon as you take into Blogger, it will ask you for a sign in. Once you have signed in, your interface something looks like this. Okay. So your interface looks like this. So this actually I have created for a good number of subjects. See, these are on my blog. This is my personal blog. I have one blog for industrial instrumentation, one of my subjects. I have one blog for biomedical instrumentation. I have one blog for circuit analysis. Okay, I'll just take you to the blog. So I'll just use one of my website is bmifunda.blogspot.com. Okay, so bmifunda.blogspot.com is a blog which I have created for biomedical instrumentation. So this you can use it. Blog can be used it like suppose you have finished the class. You want to give the students the highlight of the class, what we have discussed, what are the concepts we have discussed in the class. In those cases, we can use these types of blogs, a nutshell of what we discussed in the class. Okay, so that's how we can use it. Not necessarily we have to give so much theory. You can give simple things like what you discussed in the class. Okay, we'll see how to create a blog. So I'm just in the home page of my blog. Okay, here you see option new post. First, you need to go into blogger.com. It will ask for a login. Login with your Gmail account. Login with your Gmail account. Once you have logged in with your Gmail account, click on new post. Okay, you need to give a name for your blog. So after that, you need to click a new post. Okay, I'll just click a new post. So this is how your blog page will look like. Here you can type in all your contents. So say today's class, today's morning session, we have discussed about Google Forms, how to, in that we have seen how to do activity tracker. Okay, so we can just do, see we have all formatting options here. You can make something as bold, you can make something italics. Okay, then suppose you require a strike through, you want to change the text background color, you want to insert a link, you want to insert an external link, then you can insert a link. You want to insert an image. Okay, so you can insert an image, you can insert a video even. You can upload a YouTube video or a video from your own computer. Okay, see these are all alignment options. Fine. Once everything is done, you have typed some content. This is the title. This is the title. So I can just give a brief review. Okay, something. Here you have an option to preview your post. Okay, I can just preview my post, how it look like before publishing it. Okay, so that's it. A brief review. This is how it looks like. If you have any corrections, you can get back. Okay, this is only a preview. Once you are okay with the preview, you can just go to publish. You can just publish. So it will ask for publish post. This will publish the post to the blog. Okay, I'll just confirm. Once you confirm, the blog is published. Okay, this is the blog, it is published. Okay, so I want to view it. So this is my blog actually. This is for signal system. I love signals and systems.blogspot.com. So it will give you what is the latest one that we have typed here. Okay. So this is a simple blog. Blog is almost like a diary. Yeah. You have to, after signing, it will ask for creating a new blog. Already I have created a blog, so I am directly using it. But normally when you sign in, it will ask for you to create a blog. You have to give a name for your blog. See, I have given a name signals and systems. In another, I have used, say, biomedical instrumentation. You have to give a name. Okay. After that, it will create. Then you can start posting. Okay. It's nothing doing that. It will be very simple. So this you can, not necessarily everyone has to create a website. So if you are comfortable, if you want to interact with the students on a daily basis, you can have a blog also, blog for your classroom. So every day after the class is over, a brief important point that you wish to emphasize, you can just put it on your blog, or you want to give an assignment, you can just have the assignment in any platform like your Google Drive, and you can share a link, you can share a file with the students, you can do it. Okay, so blog is very dynamic, and it will be helpful for the students. See, students can comment on it. You have comments, see 12 comments are there for this particular thing. Students can comment on the blogs. See, students can comment on the blogs. They can tell about their views. Okay, so that's the advantage of using a blog. Fine. Now we'll just go into the website. Okay, first one we have seen how to create a blog. Are you people clear with what is a blog and how can we use a blog? Okay, so is it okay? Now we'll move on to the website. Can you please reply via the chat? How to share a content in a blog? Exactly, very good. So this is the website we need to share. You need to just share. For example, I have created the link as BMI Funda. So bmifunda.blogspot.com. This is the address we have to share with the students. That's all. To share the link with my students, it is this part alone. bmifunda. Some name what you have given for your blog. So that name .blogspot.com. For example, my personal blog will be Hemakumar b.blogspot.com. This is my personal blog. So if I just, I'll be giving this to my students. Okay. So they can just go. This is my general blog. Okay. This is my general blog. So that's how you share it with your students. This name you have to give. What name you have assigned when you're creating the blog. That's it. How to link to other material. So inside the blog, I'll just create a new post. Okay. You want to give some content from your Google Drive. Okay. So here you have insert or edit link. Okay. So you can create or edit URL. Okay. Link to a web address, link to an email address. Okay. That address, suppose you have a file in your Google Drive. Okay. That link you need to copy it here. That link you have to copy it here. You take from the Google Drive that file which you want to share. That share link you have to paste it here, give some name for it and press OK. Okay, just I'll give my website. So hemakumar.in. So here either it can be hemakumar.in or I can just put my personal website, something like that. Okay, and just give OK. Now, if I just publish it, title, I'll just put my website. I'll just publish. Once I publish this one, so I'll just give I love signalsystems.blogspot.com to my students. Students will open it, or I'll just go back, right? So here. So I will give I love signalsandsystems.blogspot.com to my students. So automatically they will see this particular link. I can click on it and it will automatically take me to that particular website or that drive where you are. Okay. Here actually it is going in a different way. I have to put use in a different window. We'll just see. Okay. See, you have option here. Open this link in a new window. So once you click it, that thing will be opened in a new window. That's the link we have to use it. Okay, fine. Now we'll get back to the website design. So for website design, we are going to use it Google Sites. Google Sites is available for website design. Good number of websites are there. But Google is quite clean interface. compared to other websites, but it has very less number of options. But still, Google sign in, Google remains a better option. Okay, so I'll just use Google sign in. It will ask for your login. Again, Google Sites is connected with Google. Fine. Sites is connected with Google. You need to log in with your Google Gmail ID. You need to log in with your Gmail ID. You can log in with your Gmail ID. Okay. Once you have logged in with your Gmail ID, it presents you this particular page. Okay, please. Yeah, we can link YouTube video links also in blog. So open a website, open a page in your browser, type in sites.google.com, or you just type in your Google, search Google Sites. Just type Google Sites in your browser. Just type Google Sites in your browser. You'll have the first option here, sites.google.com. Click on that. Click on that. It will ask for your Google login. Use your Gmail login and log in into your website. I mean, log in into your sites.google.com. So have you opened it? Have you people have gone into the sites.google.com? Okay. So once you go into this page, this will be your target page. Okay. Once you have logged in with your Gmail, this will be your page where you land. Okay. So here you can see a start a new website, start a new site. Okay. And you have, this is a blank. Suppose you want to create it from scratch, then you can go for a blank. Else you have good amount of templates available. You can use any of the templates and you can customize it. That's the advantage you have. This advantage is available almost in every website. Okay. So here you can go into this templates gallery. Okay. You have different templates available. This is for personal website. Suppose you're creating for an event or a project or a team. Okay. So this is for an educational based website. Suppose you are creating a website for a class. You're creating a website for a club. Okay. So you have a good number of templates available here. You can use any of this template. Okay. Say we'll just choose this particular thing, class. Okay. In education, you have this particular thing, class. I'm going to choose this particular template. I'm just clicking on the template. I've just clicked on the template. So it will take you to the mode you can edit the template. Okay. So it will take you to the mode how you can edit the template. Fine. Here I just give a name, say Tele2. Just giving the name as Tele2. Okay. So the name, similarly here also I can give a name. This is a class name. Tele 2.0. Okay. Just I given a name. Okay. So see here, this is, we are using that existing theme for our purpose. This is an existing theme which you're going to modify for our purpose. If you're not comfortable with this one, you can start from a scratch also. You can start from scratch also. Now, see, this is your main part where you're going to edit. The website edition is going to take place in this page. Okay. On the right side, you see you have 3 tabs: insert, pages, themes. You have 3 tabs: insert, pages, themes. Okay. As of now, by default, they have created 3 pages, I suppose. Home, schedule for the class, and a newsletter for the class. They have 3 tabs actually. Home is there. If I click on schedule, it's launching into another website, another page. Similarly, I click on newsletter, it's landing in another page. Okay. So this is the thing already available in this template. Okay. So here you see insert is the first tab. Second tab is pages. Third tab is themes. Themes is you can choose different themes. Accordingly, all these formats will change. This is a simple theme. Okay. I can choose Aristotle theme. You can choose color themes. You can change the colors. Okay. Whichever thing is comfortable to you. Or else you can choose some existing different colors also. Suppose I want red color. Okay. What is the font style you require? So I want a classic or a, so all these will change according to the format you choose. Okay. So this is one theme. Similarly, you have a good number of themes. So vision, level, impression, there are some themes available. Either you can choose, or you don't want anything, you can put it in simple. Okay. You don't want anything, you can just use it as simple. Now, as of now, I just clicked on Aristotle and I choose a color that I want. You can choose your own color. Okay. So you can choose the color according to your interest. Okay. So sometimes this red color is very scary. It is also not good for your eyes. You can use any light colors in that case. I'll just use some light color. Okay. Sometimes it look very dull. Okay. So accordingly, you can choose some colors. Fine. So this is about themes. Okay. Theme is about what is the color, what is the background, how the content should look like. This is the theme. Okay. The second tab, you see pages. As of now, we have only 3 pages: home, schedule, newsletter. Okay. Suppose you want one more page. Say I want to put a contact. Okay. As soon as I move my cursor, you on the down you see new. One plus button is there. Okay. So you have a plus button. I have 2 options here. I have 2 options here. So one is a new page, second one is a new link. Not necessarily you need to give a page itself, you can give a new link. Suppose I have a form for contact. Okay, in that case, I can just press new link and you can give your Google form link. That can be done. You can give a new link, in that you can give your Google form link. Okay, suppose you are creating a contact form using Google form, that you can give. Or you can also create a new page here itself. I'll create a new page. Okay, so I'll just put or else about me. I'll pick a page about me, a page about myself. Done. Okay. See here, about me page has been created. First page is home, second page is about me, third is schedule, fourth is newsletter. Now this page I can again move. See how I'm moving the cursor over about me. See the order in which it comes: home, about me, schedule, newsletter. Say I want my about me after schedule. I want my about me after schedule. What you have to do, just click and hold about me, drag, wherever I want to put it, drop it. What did I do? Click, hold it, drag, wherever I want it, drop it. That's how. That's as simple as it is. You need to click, hold, drag, drop. Okay, once you do it, it is aligned. It is aligned. Okay, fine. So about me, you have newsletter, you have schedule. Okay, sometimes I want this schedule under newsletter. Say I don't want it as a main tab, so I can just click it. See, I just dropped it on newsletter. I clicked on the scheduled, old date, dropped it on newsletter. I'll do it again. I'll just drop it down. It's in this position, schedule. I want this schedule as a sub page under newsletter. Okay, what I need to do, click it, drag, drop it on newsletter. So it will be a sub page of newsletter. Newsletter, you have a sub page schedule. It will not be visible on the main tab. It will not be visible on the main tab. Again, if you don't want to do it in that way, I want schedule back in the original position. Again, click, drag it, drop it in the front place. That's it. You'll get it in the main tab. Okay. So that's how you can play with these tabs. It's quite easy to move the tabs. Okay. You can just move it with your cursor. Now we need to go for modification of the contents. Now I'm just clicking on my home tab. So this is a class I'm creating for Google Classroom. I'm explaining about, say, website creation. I can just give website creation. This is a class about website creation. Can give an overview of the class. Okay. So here, as simple, nothing I'm doing. I'm just clicking on it, selecting the region I want to change, and I just start typing. Here you have the customization of the text, whether I want to make it bold, I want to make it italics, what is the kind of alignment I require, whether I requiring a numbered list. Okay, all those things you can fix. So you can just type after this session, participants will be able to design a simple website using Google Sites. Design a simple blog using Blogger. Okay, I've just typed some 2 lines. These 2 lines I'm going to put it as numbered 1. Yeah, so numbered 1. I'm just good. I just typed a thing and I made it numbered 1. Okay, I'm just using a numbered list. Fine. So you want a normal bulleted list, you can use it this way. If you want a normal bullet, you can use it, or you want a numbered bullet, you can use it. Okay, fine. Here you can add some photos for your website. Okay, and it is not mandatory you need to use a photo. Okay, there are some general rules in any website. Always don't use very flashy things, very big images that will take more time to load. Okay, always try to use simple images or very images that are very much required to use. Suppose you have a very big photograph. Okay, the photograph size will be very large. It may be about 1 MB, 10 MB. Okay, so it will take more time to load. So what's the better option is, open that image, use the stripping tool. See the stripping tool that is available in your Windows. You can cut a portion of that image and you can use it. Okay, so that way, using stripping tool, the size of the image will be reduced if you use stripping tool. Okay, so here, this is a place where I can have an image. If I want, I can have an image. If I don't want, I can just remove it. To have an image, okay, here I can just go to settings. I can see here, this is an older actually. This is an older. On the center, you have this image kind of icon. Click on it. See, as soon as I click on it, you have 2 options. Either you can upload or select the image. Select the image in the sense, an image is already available in your drive. Upload in the sense, you want to upload a new image for the website. Okay. I don't think I have an image, so I'll just go for upload. As soon as I click on upload, it just opens up a window where I can choose a picture to upload. Okay, I'll use this sun image. Okay, see, it uses a sun image. So I can just make it big or small according to the requirement. Here it is, since it is rectangle, it shows like that. I can increase the size according to the image. Okay, I can increase, since according to the size it actually allocates. I want a bigger one, so I can just use these blue dots and expand it. Use any image. Use any image you want. Okay, fine. Okay, this actually I don't require. Either you can press delete, or as simple as it is, click delete from your keypad. Just delete keypad, delete. Now I can just place it wherever I want. I can just place it wherever I want. You can just click, drag it wherever I want, place it on the position and just drop it. That's it. Okay. Now we have created the home page. This is the home page. Okay. See, this is a slider. Okay. I'll just show you in insert. See, in insert, you have a variety of options. Fine. You have a variety of options. Suppose you want a text box. This is a text box. This is called as a text box. Okay. If I want another text box, yeah, you can have any number of things. This entire page is at your disposal. You can add any number of items. You can add 100 images, no issue. You can add 100 text boxes, no issue. Okay, there's no limitation on the size of the text box and the number of text boxes to be used. Any number can be used. Yeah, to add, just click on text box, click, okay. You got a text box here. Okay, or I want to add a text box. I can just delete this text box as of now. I have this text box. I can just move it. This is a background. This is for moving it. You can just move it and place it in the location I want. Here I can actually, to match with this, I can change the background. So you can, okay, now it matches with this background. What did I do? I go into the section background. I choose emphasis. Okay, without emphasis, it's a standard. Without emphasis, it's a standard. It will have a white background. So for this theme, the emphasis is having this green background. Okay, from here you can choose, or I want to have an image for this particular text alone. That also you can change. You can upload an image for this part alone, this white region, no background. Here alone, I can add an image in the background. That's possible. So I can even upload an image in that area alone. This will take some images, but we can use. Okay, I'll just use this image. Okay, I can use the image in that region alone. See, fine. So here I can just type welcome to my welcome to the class. Okay, I've used a GIF image, so it is moving. Okay. See, similarly, you can add an image. Can add an image, whether you want to upload it or you want to select it. Say I want to upload an image. Can choose an image from my desktop. that image is getting uploaded and it is added here. Okay. And at the same time, I can move it wherever I want. This image, I can move it. Suppose I want it on the top. Just drag it where you want. Okay. Say I want my image over here. Just click and leave it there. And you can do all the operations on image. You can reduce the size of the image. You can modify the image. Okay. You can say, okay. So that's fine. I just place the image, and this is a text box. I have told you this is an image. You can even give a Google Drive link. You can even give a Google Drive link, or you want to embed some other links from the website. So suppose you want to attach a Google form. Okay. In that case, you can use this particular embed option. You can click on embed. You have to type the URL, what you want to embed. Say I'll just give the website. I just type the website. So it actually captures what this page looks like. Okay. It captures what it looks like. I'll just insert. Okay. So that link, it identifies what is available in that link and gives the snapshot view of that link also. Okay, so this you have inserted. So you can even put opening a new tab also. Okay, fine. So this is embedding a code. This is a text box. This is an image. This is a Google Drive link. Okay, and these are all layouts available. Suppose you have a photo gallery. You have a photo gallery. Then you can use any one of these formats. See, these are layouts. See this layout. You have an image and a text. This is image, 2 images below 2 text. So this is all for different layouts according to your requirements. Okay. And these are the other things you can do. Suppose you want to have an image carousel, we'll see. Say I'll take up another page. I'll take up about me. Okay, this is a page. Suppose I wanted to use the image carousel. Image carousel is you want to place a good number of images. I'll just click on it. As soon as I click, it will ask for images. I will upload images. I'm just going to use all these planets which I made for my son. So you have this Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, Mercury, okay, Saturn, fine. So all these 7 images, actually I forgot one planet. Okay. So 7 images are uploaded. So once it is uploaded, okay, you can just insert it. See this image carousel. You can just center it. So it will actually have option to move from one image to another image. Once I publish, you will be able to see it. Okay. Settings, if you see, it is having all these 5 images. Okay. So show dots. I can just put auto start. Okay. Transition speed is medium. Okay. What I mean by transition is it will automatically move from one image to another image. It will automatically change. Okay. We'll see how it looks. As of now, we didn't do much of modification. We have edited the home page and about me page. Still now, it is in your browser alone. It is not visible to the world. Okay. Here you have the option. See on the right corner, publish. On the right corner, you have this option, publish. Click on it. Okay. As soon as I click on it, it will ask for an address. What name you want. Okay. So I'm just giving Tele 2.0. Okay, see the website. That is the only problem with free website. Your free website for this one is sites.google.com/view/tele-2-0. That's how it will be created. This is a site link. We have to share it with our students. Okay. So if you go for a professional version, you buy a website, then you can have it like www.amakumar.in like that. Okay. As far as free website is connected, your domain name will look like this. Okay, whatever name you give here, I'm just going to see publish. This is the name. I'm just going to give publish. As soon as I give publish, the site is getting published. Now the site is published. You have seen the website view. So even from your browser, you can open it. You can open sites.google.com view tele 2.0. I'll just copy this link and share it in the chat window. So you can just open this link from your browser and see. So we have, see this is image carousel. The image gets automatically running at a medium speed, all the planets. Also, you have a cursor to move. You have a cursor to move. Okay, this is called as image carousel. Fine. So this way the image will be moving randomly. Fine. So we have created only the home page. See, website creation is there. So welcome to the class. It's a GIF image. See, it takes some time to load. See, it's stuck in bit, and now it is loaded. Now it's loaded, and it's a class overview that we have created. Okay, and these things are already there in the website. I didn't modify it. Okay, if you want, you can modify these contents. It also shows a snapshot of my website. Fine. So website creation is as simple as it is. That's it. Nothing more is in website creation. It all depends upon what content you add, how much content you add. That only matters. Okay. So you can add multiple pages. You can add, I'll just get back. Okay. So you can have multiple pages. You can add multiple themes. Fine. You can have map, you can add a doc, slides, you can add a Google form, you can add a chart, you can add a YouTube video, everything is possible. That's how you do a website creation. Okay. So you can, and you have options here, preview. So preview, you can do it. See, this preview is from desktop, a large screen. Suppose you want to see it, a preview in your tablet. It shows the preview for a tablet. Suppose you are using a mobile, how the preview will look like. So you can see the preview according to the mode device. Okay, fine. So that's it about website creation. And one more option you have, suppose you can add, this is the basic thing. And okay, so this is a, share with peoples. Okay, you can add people who can collaborate with you and work, who can collaborate with you and work on the website. So you can add people. I'll just use this particular thing. So I'm just giving the permission of editor. So I'm putting this email. Either you want it to be a normal viewer or editor. When you put it as editor and send request, so this website will have two owners. You are the main owner. Another person will act as an contributor or a coordinator. So collaboratively, you can develop your website. That's possible. You can have a collaboration with others. 2 or 3 persons can add together, both of them. So you are the owner. The other person is the editor. He can also edit the contents of the website. He can change everything. Okay. So you can work in a collaborative manner in developing the website. That's the advantage of having collaborators. Okay. So now, whenever we post some contents on the website, I'll just take you to my website. I just take it to my website. This is my website. Actually, my website is hosted in wix.com. Okay, it's another website where you can create a simple website. So here I have given good number of pages. Okay, so see, for each tab you have good number of menus. Okay, these are some of the things. These are the contests I used to create. For example, for my lecture notes. For my subject, I'll post lecture notes. So I'll just give the scope of this course. I'll give the syllabus. They can download a PDF version of the syllabus, and each topic lecture notes are available. Okay. So here on the beneath, I have given options for connection with my YouTube channel, my Instagram account, my Facebook and LinkedIn accounts. And these are the different courses, and these are some of the contests I conduct with students. So I'll just take you to skits. Okay. So each year we conduct a lot of skits. So I'll just take you to older one, say 2018. So this is with biomedical instrumentation. So these are the skits that are conducted with students. Okay. So there are YouTube videos which are embedded here. These are all YouTube videos. You can just go through the contents. Okay, fine. This is a way we can create our website. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. So this is a small homage to my teachers. So my parents, my teachers. Okay. So that's it. So that's how you create a simple website. So the number of basic creation is that's it. The number of pages you add and the other things, it all depends upon your own interest and thing. Fine. Okay. So now whatever we post in our website, those things may have some copyright issue. To identify that, okay. So we have something called as Creative Commons licensing. Okay, this is a website link. This is basically to give an open source content. Okay, I'll just show you. Whenever it will give you a licensing part. Whatever content you post in the net, if you want your content should not be taken away by someone, then you can create a license for the content you are creating. For that, the website is Creative Commons. Okay, I'll take you back to the browser. I have to use Creative Commons. Okay, as soon as I click on Creative Commons, you can see the first thing, creativecommons.org. It's an American non-profit organization. I just click on creativecommons.org. This is your home page of your Creative Commons work website. Okay. So here you can see share your work. Okay. You want to create a license for your work. It's completely free. First thing I want to say, this particular Creative Commons is completely free. Okay. So no need to pay a single penny. Fine. If you are very much interested, you can donate. That's up to you. But as far as concerned, it is free. It's open source or almost free. Okay. So I'll just click on share your work. I'll click on share your work. Okay. So this is the procedure in which your licensing is going to work. First, you need to choose the features. What features you want. What I mean by features is, if you say that my work should be used only for non-commercial purpose. Say you tell sometimes like they can use it for commercial purpose also. Sometimes you say if a person uses it, they have to give proper credit to you. Like that, you can choose what features you want. Okay, what is the kind of sharing you want to give it to people. Okay, then you have to give optional info wherein you can give your name and other things, and finally you'll get the license within fraction of a second. You need to just copy this license into your website or the content you're creating. It may be a PDF content, it may be a Word content, it may be a PowerPoint, it may be a website, any content. You can use the Creative Commons. Okay, fine. We'll see it. So you can just click on Get Started. See, Get Started. I'm just clicking on it. Okay. So that's how it goes. You also have a beta version. Beta version is still more easier. to do the work, you can choose the beta version also. Both are same. Whether it is the current version or the beta version, both are same. Only thing, beta version gives you everything in step by step. So it will be easy for a beginner to take up, that's all. An advanced user can take it in this way. A beginner can take it up in this way. Okay. So do you know which license you need? Suppose I know, yes, I know. You can directly go to last step. Say, I don't know. I don't know what type of licensing I have to choose. Then I click on this one. No, I need help selecting a license. Okay. Everyone has gone into this. So creativecommons.org. Click on share your work. As soon as you share your work, you'll get a window. In that, you click on get started. Get started. In that, see this, once you click on get started, you are getting this window. Here I am choosing the beta version. I am choosing the beta version. Beta version is step by step. It will be more easier. Beta version is bit easier. Now so here I can just put no, I need help in selecting a license. I just click on next step. Yeah, beta version done. So first coin is license expertise. If you are very much proficient, you can go for yes. Unless you choose a second option, I require help, and click on next step. Once you click on next step, the second step is, do you want attribution for your work? Okay. So see, you have two choices. Yes, anyone using my work must include my proper attribution. Else, no, anyone can use my work even without giving me attribution. It's up to you. Okay. Say I tell, if it is a very unique content that you have created, if someone else want to use it, they should get proper thing from you. Okay, they should give the credit to the original creator. So we'll use the first option. Yes, anyone using my work must include proper attribution. See, as soon as I clicked on it, you see a symbol was created. See, this symbol is created, which means that credit must be given to the creator. See, it gives very clearly. As soon as I clicked on it, I'll just go back. Okay. As soon as I clicked on it, if I just put no, see this symbol. It is in public. Anyone can do anything with my work. No attribution. Okay. If I put yes, anyone using my work must include proper attribution. See, first one is for license basic CC. Second one is telling about credit must be given to the creator. Now next. Okay. Do you want allow others to use your work commercially? If you can say others can work commercially, if you click on this, see $, only non-commercial use is permitted. Others can use even for commercial purpose. Say $, will be there. I'll just put no. Others cannot use my work for commercial. Only for non-commercial purpose it is used. That's why it is put $/. It cannot be used for commercial purpose. It is free for all the people as long as they don't get any money out of it. That's the meaning of this one. Okay. You can give S also. That's no issues. Fine. I'm just giving not for commercial purpose. See the next option. Others can remix, adapt, or build upon my work. Okay. So if others take your work, they can modify the content. Okay. They can adapt, they can build upon it. They can modify in any form. That is the first permission you're giving. No, others may use my work in the same form. Whatever I have given, they can use it in the same form, means it is no. Say I'll give option to remix. Okay, I'll give an option to remix. Next step. Do you want allow others to share adaptations under any terms? Okay. So others can share adaptations of my work under any terms, or under identical terms. Under identical terms means same conditions. Okay. So suppose you are using it for a particular education purpose, they also should use it for education purpose, like that. Okay. So I'll just put under identical terms. Under identical terms. Okay. Just I'll give next step. Okay. Here you can give your name and things. Say I'll just give Hemant Kumar my work. Okay. This is optional. URL of the creator profile. It's optional. I'll just give my website. Okay. For what work I'm going to claim this particular license? Say you have created an open education resource. You have created a content, PDF book, something. Okay. So you can give the title. Say I'll just put my website here itself. Website creation. I'll just put Teli. For that website, I'm getting this permission. Okay. So that URL, title is sufficient. So that URL. So the website URL. Okay. It's sites.google.com/view/tele 2-0. Okay, that's it. This is optional only. Okay, as soon as you have typed, see here, some content is created here. See, this content is created here. What you need to do is that I just need to copy this content. See, whatever I typed here, I just typed tele 2.0. You can see this is modified. This is the license part. This I just need to copy it. I need to copy, get to the website, get to my website. Okay, sorry. Get to my website. Okay, this is my website. I'll just get back to the editor. Okay, sites.google.com. I'm just getting into the website I have created now, Tele 2.0. There's a website I have created now recently. I am having this copyright for this website. Okay, I have just come into my website home page. I'll just traverse to the ending of my website page. Okay, I can just paste that content over here. Can just paste this content over here. Okay, so this will actually tell about the licensing of the content. Okay, else suppose you have something, I'll just choose this option. See, embed. Okay, when I clicked on embed, you have two options: by URL, embed code. I will click on embed code. Okay, I'll just go back to the license page. In the license page, this is the rich text. On the right, see, you have HTML. Click on HTML. Click on HTML. You have some HTML code. Just click on copy. They are given the provision C. By default, it is in rich text format. You have something called as HTML. Okay, you can drag and copy this, or else you have a copy button on the right. Click on it. It's copied. It's copied. I will just come back to my website. In that embed code, I will just paste, Control V. I'm just pasting. I'm just pasting. Okay. Right click, paste. As soon as I paste it and I give next. I give next. Okay. See, it has identified the code. Insert. That's it. Now my licensing is complete in my website. So you can use this licensing for anything. It may be a document, it may be a PDF, it may be a PowerPoint. Wherever you have created something unique, you want the creator should be given the credit. In that case, you can choose your type of license that you require. Okay, just after adding it, publish it. This is, it will show you a draft copy. I'm telling it's okay, publish it. Once it is published, okay, I'll just open the site. Okay, this is my website. So beneath you'll have the licensing. It takes a time to load the code actually. See, this is, I just copy and pasted. This is from the HTML code, I have got it. See, from the HTML code, you have got the image also. Here the image didn't come properly. Whereas here we have got it with our image, that license image. Okay. So that's how you create a simple website and you go for licensing. Okay. So this is the first part actually I wanted to discuss. We have the second part, which is about course creation. It may take some 20 to 30 minutes, 20-25 minutes. Is it okay? We can continue that part because already it is 2:23. We can, that will be the new part, that will be the interesting part. Okay. If you're okay with you people, I can just, this is actually the main agenda of this class. One is website creation. Either you can create it using a website or you can create it using a blog, and how to keep a licensing for that content. That's the main part we have done. Okay. Now we can go for creating a simple course. Okay. We'll see how to do it. It will take some time. Okay. If it's okay, we can continue. Else, you can have 15 minutes gap. 15 minutes gap, I don't think everyone will join back. What do you say, ma'am? Lalita, ma'am? Can we continue? Or we can give a gap and continue? Okay, I'll continue. If you find it difficult, also you can some break. Okay, no gap. Now, please, ma'am, you can talk. Radhita, ma'am. I'll just go to participant. Just a minute. Maybe you can take up the feedback part now.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We can send the feedback form. We can paste the link in the chat window. And if participants are okay with the session, then they can continue. Whom have other commitments can leave. But please ensure that you fill the feedback form.
Yeah. I just post it on the chat window. Take your time to fill it first. That you can take it as an, it's feedback for both the days. It's feedback come attendance for both the days. You can fill that feedback form. That you can take it as a break for 10 minutes. Those who are interested to continue can come back after 10 minutes. We'll have the session back. 2:35, we'll again resume.
Yeah, that's better.
Finish off the feedback. The feedback is for both the days. And anyway, you have already paid, so you'll be getting the recording as well as certificates. Kindly fill in this feedback, and you will also have a quiz. Okay, that we'll share it today evening. Okay. After 10 minutes, 2:35, we'll resume back. That is about how to create a course using Wix. Yeah, we'll send it, ma'am. No issues. Namita, ma'am. Can fill the feedback form.
Yeah, all participants are requested to please fill the feedback form. Now we are taking 15 minutes break and we will get back at 2:35.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So no need to leave the session now.
Yeah, the session is live. No need to leave.
Yeah. Okay.
This feedback form is also important for us to, that is, your names and salutation is very important. Your feedback is also very important. Give your name properly. In what way it has to be printed in your certificates. Okay, your designation, your institute name, all those details are also required. Okay, I'll share it on WhatsApp also. I have shared it in the, yeah, thank you, ma'am, Shalini, ma'am. Susila, ma'am, is also completed. Thank you. The feedback and attendance has been shared in your thing. So some of the contests I conduct in the classes. Subject wise, topic wise. Shall we start? It will take some 15 to 20 minutes maximum.
Yeah, we should start now, I think.
Okay.
30 participants are there, so
yeah, 30 participants. Yeah. Okay. So for this, I'm going into wix.com. I'm using this particular website. We are going to create a simple course wherein people can register and they can attend the course. That's the purpose of this particular session. Okay. Okay. So this is called wix.com. The website is wix.com. Can do it parallelly. Okay. wix.com. But there is some bit of difference you'll have. Okay, we'll see. Wix.com. I'm going to sign in. See, I have signed in. You have an option to sign in with your Google website, Google Gmail. Okay. So I'm going to sign in. You can join with Facebook. You can join with Apple account. You can join with Google. I am logging in with Google. I'm logging in with Google. Okay. I just choose this account. I'm logging in with my Google ID. Okay. So this is once I've logged in with my Google ID, this is my home page. Okay, this is my draft thing. Okay. So here I'm going to create a new website. Not necessarily a website. It's a kind of course alone. We're going to create a course. We're going to create a course using this page. What did I do? I go into wix.com. I chose sign in. I signed in with my Google account. I signed in with my Google account. Here you see on the right corner, create new site. I have an option called create new site. I'm just clicking on it. As soon as I click on create new site, okay, so it is asking option what kind of website you wish to create, okay, whether it's a business or designer or online store, okay. So it's a program, right? I just choose say or make it other, okay. So you have two options again. Let Wix create a website for you. I'll just get back. I'll just choose an online store, almost like an online class, no? So you can, I'm just choosing online store for the time being. Let Wix EDI create a website for you with a simple questions, or I want to create with the editor. I'm going to use the second option. I'll use a template to create my website. I'm going to do it from scratch. Okay, I'm not going to use the inbuilt thing to create it for you. I'm going to create it with all the features. Okay, so I'm choosing a template. I click on choose a template. Okay, so you have good number of templates available here. You can choose any one of these templates. Okay, according to your wish, you can just choose any one of these templates, or else I can choose a blank template. I am just going for a blank template. You have this inbuilt templates. I am choosing a blank template. Okay, again in blank template you have different layouts. See, so you have different layouts it is showing. I'm showing start from scratch. This is a basic thing. A blank website template. Again, you have different options. Okay, so this is a classic layout. See, you can see the layout, how it looks. This is for, suppose you have a gallery, you can use this type of thing. Okay, so I'm going to choose a blank start from scratch. Okay, so you have two options. First thing, you can view it and then you can do, or I can directly go into edit it. I'm going to click on edit. As soon as I click on edit, it just opens up, it creates a new page wherein I'm going to start to work. Okay, so this is how you'll be getting the page. Welcome to Wix. Okay, I'm just going to start now. This is your Wix inside. See, before we saw about Google website, which had very less number of menus. Here you have lots and lots of menus are there. Okay, highly customizable. Your website you can customize. In that case, you did only with your desktop, you had option to view it the mobile. But here, even you can edit your content that displays on your mobile also. That's also possible. You can work in a mobile platform so that you are addressing only the users of mobile, or you want to work with the desktop version, so you're addressing common to everyone. Okay, that's the option you can have, desktop as well as mobile. Okay, here on the right you see these are the pages you have. You can have a blog in your website, you can have some media, you can add some apps. Okay, you can have a background, you can have menus and pages. These are the numerous options available. First thing what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create my home page. Okay, I'm going to create a home page. First I choose a background. I'm clicking on background. You can choose a variety of images that are available here. Okay, you have a variety of images. I just choose the image. That's it. I have choose the image. Where did I go? I just went into background, the tab, square. In that I have chose my image. If you don't want this image, you want a color. I want a plain color background. You can use it. If you want an image background, image in the sense your custom image from your browser, from your system, then you can use this image. Even I can use a video background. Even I can use a video background. It should be a small size. It will be continuously playing in the background. Okay, that's also possible. Okay. Now, as of now, I'm just going to choose one of the available backgrounds from here. Okay, I have chosen this background. I'll add some text. Okay, as soon as I click on this add, you see what are the options you have. Text you can add. You can add an image. You can add a button. You can add a gallery. You can add decorative items, shapes. You can have interactive shapes. Okay, you can have a box, strip. Okay, you can explore all these things. What are the things available? Okay, for the home page, I'm going to just put a heading. I just click on add heading 3. Okay, so I'm going to I've got 2 things actually. I just delete the other one. So I'm just this is a course actually. Welcome to my course. Welcome to my course. Welcome to my course on say analytical instrumentation. Okay, I just typed in. You can change the font size. Can just select the fonts. I just select this one. I can reduce the size or I can increase according to my wish. Okay, I just choose it. I can vary the size of this box. Okay, and also what is the kind of alignment I require, whether it's a central alignment or a left alignment or a right alignment. You can use a bulleted or I want a bold one. Okay, and also you can choose a font. Okay, there are a good number of fonts available. It will be quite impressive fonts. Okay, so you can choose a font of your interest. Okay, so I'll just choose say American typewriter. Fine. So that's it. So now I have created my home page. My home page for my course. Now the main part, this is all available in your Google Sites also. The main part, how to users to log in. That's the page we need to create. Okay. For that first, I'll just go into add. Listen, this is a part new. Up to this, you can do it using your normal Google Sites itself. This part can be done as of now using Wix. If you are a code writer, you can develop from your own. Okay. So here, I just go to the down on the right. You have members area, members. You see members. From Plex, add. I chose members. In that, I can add to the site. This is called as members area. Okay. This is where users log in and their database will be maintained. So I'm adding a members area. Okay. What it will do is automatically it will take you to the members area. How their account will look like once they are logged in. Okay. So it is adding your members page. Okay. This is how your members page looks like. You can see here, see this particular bar. This is a login bar. This is a login bar. This is where people log in. They have login for this option. Okay. I can set up this login. Okay. I can design this. What kind of design I want. Okay. Or I'll just choose setup login bar. What I want in the login bar. I want a profile pic. I want a picture. Okay. What does the login, before login, what you want? You want login option. Once you have logged in, you should get logout option. That's the basic. Okay. Before login, it is login. Or you can have profile pic and members name also. Both can be there. Only members name, profile pic, and you can see here, profile pic and members name is there. See, profile pic and members name. So before you log in, you have login, show greeting. If you want, you can add it before name. What is the greeting? It will ask hello. It will show you hello. Okay. After you have logged in, you have an option for log out. See, all these are customizable options. Okay, I'll just close it. This is your login bar. You can place it here. I am placing it in the top. Okay, fine. See, this is your actual area where this dotted line shows no. This is the actual area where it will be visible to the person. Whatever you keep it here will not be visible to the person. Okay, so this is the area where it will be visible. See this dotted line. This dotted line actually tells you it's almost like in your Word when you're printing, you'll have some printable area, no? Something like that. This is the area which will be visible on the site. Okay, and you can design this login bar. You can add some colors, you can add a border. Okay, so you can add a width. Say I have a border, small border. Okay, so what's the color you require? All these things you can modify. Okay, fine. I'll just we will not waste on that. I'll just tell what is what. That's it. Now we have created a login bar, and this is my account bar. Okay, now I require another page here. That is, this is to add, once I've logged in, I can see my account. I can update the information. At the same time, I want to access a course. I want to access a course. So what I do is that, see this menu, horizontal menu, click on it. I'm clicking on this horizontal menu. You have options. As soon as I clicked on, you have top options, manage menu. Okay, click on manage menu. Once I clicked on manage menu, it shows you member pages. See, as of now, you have only one page, my account. As of now, you have only one page, my account. I'm going to add another page. Add a member page. I click on that. What kind of page you want? A public page or a private page? This is a member, no? So I'll just add a private page. Okay. A private page. Okay, now a private page is created. I'll just edit it. I'll just go to settings. See, initially it was my account. I created a new page. I'll just get into the settings of it. You have numerous settings. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, fine. So here the name is new private page. Rather, I will just give the name it as course. I'll give the name as course. Okay. So, okay, I have a course. It will not available in the main menu bar or the login menu. Okay. By default, it is available in login bar. After you log in, you can see the course. Okay. You can hide it if you want. As of now, I want it to be visible, so it is course. Okay. Permissions. Okay. This who can view? Only that restricted members can view. That's why it is a private page. Fine. I only change the name of the page. That's it. I changed the name of the page. I reduced it. Now I'll just close it. Now you see there is one thing course. There is one thing my account. You have my account, you have course. Okay. Now, before we proceed further, we need to do something very important. On the top, you see you have different tabs: site, settings, tools, developer mode. We have to enable this developer mode. So turn on developer mode. You have to turn on developer mode. Okay. So it gives you a pop-up window. Once you have enabled your developer mode, it becomes still more complicated, the page. Okay. So you have a page code. I'll just minimize it. Do not worry much about it. You have a properties window on the top. Okay. I'll just close it. On the right side, you have the site structure. Okay, this is the back end of the site. This particular part is the back end of the site. Okay, now I'm going to create a course, right? The course content should be available only to the members. The course content should be available only to the members. Okay, so here you can see database. I just go to, you see, no database is available as of now. I just go to add new collection. I'll click on add new collection. See, it will be a bit difficult to follow. Better you can just look into the content. Okay, if possible, you can do it parallelly. Okay, so pick a collection template or start from scratch. I'm just creating a blank template, blank collection. Okay, so what collection you want to give? Okay, name of the collection. So I want to give course contents. Course contents. Okay, you should not have any space. It should be a continuous. It's like a variable actually. It's the name of the database. I'm giving it as course contents. And what is this collection for? So this collection, you have different things here. Member generated content, member only content. I'll just put custom use. You can use it for any purpose. Custom use. I'll choose custom use. Okay. I've given the name for the collection. Fine. I have the collection is for custom use. Okay. Then set custom preferences. Since you have put custom, it is asking for preferences. Who can read the collection? Who can read? Site member, registered user can read. Who can read the collection? Member can read. Who can create? Only the admin can create. Who can update? Only the admin can update. Who can delete? Only the admin can delete. Okay. So who can read? It is site member. Who can create is admin. And who can update? Who can delete? I have just all given admin. Set and create the collection. Set and create the collection. Your collection is just getting created. Okay. Your collection is just getting created. Okay, this almost it's called as a database. This course content is a database. Okay. Now I'm going to add tabs. Two fields I'm going to add. First field is, say I'm going to have a website which is going to give the users video lectures. Okay, so I just give video title. Video title. Video title. The key is again video title, the field key. This is a variable name. This is a field name. Field type. The field type is text. The name is going to be text. Save. That's the first one we have given. Okay. Video title is the first one we have given. Second one, I'm going to give the video source, video itself. The video itself I'm going to give. What is the field type? Here you have different field types. I'm going to give a URL. What I mean by URL is, I'm going to put my website in YouTube and I'll get the YouTube URL. That I'm going to give it here. Okay, that's the meaning of this one. I'm taking the field type as URL. The field name is video. The field key is video again. The field type is URL. Save. Okay. Now I have created two entries, two variables. One is video title. Second one is video. Okay. As of now, I'll close this collection. I'll close this collection. Fine. Now I need to create a small database. I just go to add. I need to have, I go to the member section. Okay, here you have content manager. Okay, content manager. In that, you have content connections, you have data set. See here, from content manager, this is the content manager. Under content collections, you have data set. I'm going to click on this data set. Okay, so this is a data set. I'm just going to drag it. I'll take it outside the view. I'm just going to take it outside the view. I can just modify this part. See this one. This is the view actually. I'm keeping this data set outside. I'm keeping this data set outside. Okay, I have created a data set. I'll just go to the settings of this one. Okay. So which collection you want to connect it? I want to connect to course contents. See, I am choosing it course contents. Okay. How many items to display? This you can fix it as of now 10. Then I will tell you what is the purpose of it. What we did is that we created a database course connection. Now I want to link this page to the database. I want to link this page to the database. For that only you have this data set. I have given the collection as course contents. Okay. Now I need to add some contents for this page. For that, under add, I will choose list and grids. Okay. So I'll choose this particular list. Okay, this particular list I have taken it. I'll just drag it and keep it down. I'll just move it to the left. Okay, I'll just expand it. I'll just expand it. See this part, I'll expand it. Okay, so I don't require this photo. I'll just remove it. This content I don't require. This content I don't require. This is the title of the video. This is the video title. I'm just putting the video title. Okay. I'll just expand this box. When I expand anything within this, all the boxes will be expanded. Okay. Now this is the video title. Here I'm going to add a video. See, go to add. I'll just choose video and music. You have a YouTube option here. Click on that. Okay. I've just kept a video here. Okay. So automatically in all the boxes, a video will be created. Fine. Automatically in all the boxes, a video is created. Now I can just, okay. Now we have did this work. Okay. This we have to get a connection. See, I have made a data set. The data set is connected with our course contents. Now each entity here should be connected. See, when I click on this name, you see the connection, connect to data. Okay, I just click on connect to data. I click on connect to data. First I'll choose the data set, course contents data set. It is reference to here. Okay. This text connects to video title. This text connects to video title. Okay. So course content data set I'm choosing, and I'm choosing video title. Closed. Once it's connected, see, it is having a green symbol. See, before connecting, it will have a blue symbol. See here, I have connected it with the data. It is having a green connection. Okay, green means it is connected. Now again, I will choose this particular entity, connect to data, connect to data. It is automatically taken course content data set. So I don't want a video title, only the video source. Video source is the video itself, the URL that we created in the database. No, that video link. I'm just taking it. Close. Now this data is also connected. Fine. Now first thing we'll do is we'll publish this site. We'll publish this site. Okay. This is the site actually. Fine. I just opened the site. eiealwayswins.whichsite.com, my site. Okay. This is how my login home page will come. See, you have an option to log in. So as soon as I click on login, it will end up in this page. I can sign in with Google. Okay. You can also try. You can just go into this eiealwayswins.whichsite.com/my site. You can just give up signing with Google. Okay. Before that, we'll do one simple work. Okay, this is almost over. Okay. Before we actually proceed, we need to update the database. Now, whatever contents is in this page is linked to the database, but we have not updated the database. So I'm opening the database. Okay. By the time it loads, I'll just take my YouTube channel. I need a video from my YouTube channel. So I'll just take my YouTube channel here. I'm just taking my YouTube channel. Okay. So I'll just go into my channel. Could you just tell me? Sorry. This is my YouTube channel. Okay. I'll just take into my channel. I'll take a video from analytical instrumentation. I'll just take the playlist. So analytical instrumentation. So I have a video on chromatography. I just copy this link on chromatography. Okay. I'll just come back to the WITS. Okay. Here, I'll just type chromatography. Okay. Kindly mistakes we can leave. So the video URL, I'm just pasting the YouTube URL. I'll just give update. Okay, the YouTube URL I have given. Okay, so already it is synced to the live. Once you give it itself, it automatically sync. Fine. Now this page. Okay, I'll publish it again. It's almost over. Just a few seconds more. Okay. Now this is my site. I'm just opening the site. Okay. This is my login page. I click on login. It will ask for a login. Either you can directly log in with the email, or I'm just going to use the Google email, Gmail to log in. I'll use my another account, iamakumarb@gmail.com to log in. Once I have logged in, okay, see, hello iamakumarb. It's still on the home page, but it has logged in. Here you can see my account course. It has two options as well as logout. Initially, it had only login option. Now, after login, it shows course, account, and logout. My account and logout by default, it will be there. Course we have created. So I will click on course. Once I click on course, okay. So, okay. Course. It's taking some time to load. We'll just see the preview of this page. Preview of the page should be giving, see, chromatography and the video is available. I will refresh it. Okay, I just wanted to go to the course. Okay, there's some problem. Maybe I'll just choose an incognito window. I'm just going to use it. Okay, /home. No, it takes some time to load. Okay, it should land in this page actually. It will land, you can see the preview here. This is the preview page you'll be getting over there. Okay, so I think you may try in your PC. Once you logged in, you will be able to see the course. Okay, I don't know why it's not getting refreshed here. Okay, so that's how you have to create a course. Fine. So I'll stop here. Anyway, I'll share this video. Fine. So you'll be able to see it. You can register, and once you're registered, you'll be able to see this course contents. Okay, it's a bit slow. Maybe the net is a problem or something. It's not getting updated. Right? Okay, so that's it. That's how it works. What you need to do is that I'll just give a small brief view of what you have to do. You have to get into wix.com, and after getting into wix.com, the important part is under add, you need to choose the members page. You need to activate the members page. Then you can modify all these login bar and all. Second thing, you need to activate the developer mode. Once the developer mode is activated, all these right windows will be available. You need to create a new database for your course contents. Okay, the database has to be created. Then you have to create a data set. The data set has to be linked to the database. Then you create your site contents. Whatever site contents you want to create, you create. Then link each item in this page to the data set items. You have to link each items in this page to the data set. We had only 2 items in the data set, course contents. One is the title, second one is the video link. Okay, these 2 things, it's opening up. Net is a bit slow. Okay, maybe I am on Geo actually. Maybe the 2 GB might have depleted. Fine. So you have the 2 links here, 2 entities. Okay, so those 2 items we have to link it over here. Once you linked it, then you can update the database anytime. As soon as you update the database, it will be available to the users. Okay, that's how you develop a simple course. Of course, it's not simple. It's a bit complicated. You can create, but it requires some amount of practice. Okay, you just explore this one. I'll be keeping posted in my our more workshops of this category, so it will be useful for you. Okay, so thank you. If you have any queries, can we take from memory card? What memory card, sir? Venugopal, sir, I'm not able to understand. What can we take from memory card? As soon as any card, if it is connected to the system, you can take the image from anywhere. All your laptops have an option to read the SD cards. You're aware of it, right? All your laptop have a provision to read data from the SD card. So you can take data from memory card also. If you have any queries, we can have a discussion. Else we can exit the session because already it is a long time. We didn't have the discussion part. If you have any doubts, we are open to ask. I'll just unmute your thing. You can ask. You can unmute and you can ask your queries if you have. You can unmute yourself, and if you have any queries, you can ask.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, I take this opportunity to thank all.
Madam, and Dr. Hema Kumar also.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
We had to explore it in our teaching methodologies. Thank you very much to both of you. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, sir. I think we should end the meeting now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.